evidence that we get through Freedom of Information Act requests. It's a different type of evidence. I think I'll be able to explain that a little more clearly in a few minutes. But nonetheless, what we have is a lot of very suggestive, persuasive, in my view, testimony from some heavy hitters about programs to study alien or non-human technology and non-human bodies that do not originate from this world. Now, the name at the top, that's Leonard Stringfield. He was a researcher. He wasn't an insider. Back in the 1970s, Leonard Stringfield wrote a book, really the first book to reopen the whole topic of crash retrievals. He spent a couple of pages discussing this in one of his books. And as a result of that, and this is during the Carter years, a lot of people came to him quietly with amazing stories, just incredible accounts. And he collected them. He had several dozen, I think, really good stories. We have the case of Senator Barry Goldwater, longtime U.S. Senator, one-time presidential candidate, got trounced by Lyndon Johnson, but he made the Republican Party ticket. A reserve general in the U.S. Air Force and a close friend of Air Force legend General Curtis LeMay, a man who was Chief of Staff of the Air Force. Barry Goldwater mentioned this story a number of times, in which he approached his friend Curtis LeMay on one occasion, asking about the so-called Blue Room at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and this is where E.T. bodies were said to be kept. And indeed, Stringfield had gotten many such stories about this. And Goldwater, you can find this on YouTube. He's got this clip. He said, it was the only time that my friend Curtis LeMay ever cussed me out and really yelled at me and told me, don't ever ask me that again. He made it very clear that, yes, there was such a place, and you ain't going to know about it. End of story. Now think about it. This was a senator who was, to call him military friendly was an understatement. All right? He was the darling politician of the U.S. military, Republican, solid, conservative, general in the Air Force Reserve, friends with LeMay, and he could not learn about this, despite the fact that he was a prestigious U.S. senator. Dr. Robert Sarbacher, one of these defense, I call them power scientists of the 50s, a real genius, a man who was